Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the Intuitive Psychology Podcast. I am flying solo today. Well, I'm not solo, I do actually have a guest with me, but Sarah is not here, so it's just myself. But today I am joined by the most beautiful soul and human being, Karen Sutton. So, Karen is the UK's first widow coach. She is the host of the Widow podcast. She is also a master intuitive psychology coach. She's been featured in the BBC. She's doing the most incredible things in the world. And we wanted to get Karen on the podcast because I know with every fibre of my being that she is going to give so much um, inspiration and wisdom and hope to so many people that listen to this episode. So, welcome to the Intuitive Psychology Podcast, Karen.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be asked. Bless you.
I know, well, do you know what? It's one of these things that really came to Sarah and I as we were chatting. Um, you have inspired us from the day we connected, and I think the first time we met, so let's go back, the first time we actually met in person was at Chris Evans Car Fest, not this year, the year before, so 2024.
Yeah.
But we kind of connected before that, but we got to see you in person and really connect on a deeper level with you um in that space, didn't
Mm.
we?
Yeah, it was lovely. I'd spoken to you, I think, a couple of times before that about doing, the course to become a master intuitive psychology coach, and that was really lovely. But sort of coming along to the festival and being with you in that space and feeling the energy. I remember being so excited and just so, I think, in awe of what you two do and what you bring and the energy that you bring, but also just knowing. I knew at that time I was about to go on an incredible journey. You know, when you just feel something in your bones that I
Mhm.
didn't really know what it was going to entail and what I was going to get out of it, but I knew it was going to be good. So to meet you in person was lovely, and of course, then I saw you again this year, didn't I,
Yeah,
at the
you did.
festival, which was
So
which was
good.
equally as lovely. And to see you speaking there, I could just listen to you and Sarah all day, to be honest.
Oh,
It's
and Karen,
incredible.
I have to say when you listen, I'm receiving that so deeply, and so I want to say thank you for that. But when you say stuff like that to me, to us, I'm like right back at you
Mm,
because what you have not only been through, but what you've gone on to achieve and who you've gone on to support and the success that you've achieved. And when I talk about success, success is different for everyone, but I mean success, what you've created in your business through the choices that you've had to face in your life. Like
mm,
you're actually the definition of someone that has turned pain into purpose. And I mean, Karen, Sarah and I often laugh, when we talk, we've got obviously our membership, right? And you're in that when we talk about people in business who are often, looking for clients and pitching for deals and pitching for business. You're someone that's like, I've got too many. What do I do? I've got like you're literally, it's like incredible because it blows our mind and we often we'll laugh together with it because Karen, like you're one of the very few people that has too many people and doesn't know what to do with it because there's so many people that want to work with you and that sign up to your courses and this wait list of like people that you have obviously helped that have gone on to tell other people about the amazing work that you do for
mm.
others. So I just want to say congratulations on that because that is rare. So let's just call that out. It's I know a lot of people talk about manifestation and I did this thing and then it just landed like literally typically in business it takes a lot of work and effort and grit to have wait lists of clients that want to work with you, but you're definitely doing something right, sister, because they all want to
They're
work
there.
with Karen.
I think though when you go through something in life and you are looking for something to help you go through that thing and you can't find it, which is what happened to me. And I thought, well, okay, well if I can't find it, let's create it. And I did, and I always say to people, I've just made it all up, and I'm just, I'm winging it. And
Mhm.
and some people kind of say, well, don't do yourself a disservice, it's more than that, and I get that it is, but I didn't come into it thinking that this was going to be where I got to. But as I started, and it just kept growing, and it still continues to grow, which is actually a really sad thing because that means that more people are becoming widows. But it's also a really wonderful thing in that I know what I do works, and I know what I do helps, and I know it absolutely supports people through a really dark, terrible, like despairing time when you need all the help you can get. You need that hope, you need that support, that sense of community. And I want to be able to offer that to people. And I think what's been amazing is that obviously up until last year I was offering sort of grief support because that's how I started, that's what I wanted to do, and I was offering the grief support. And I got to a point, my husband Simon died in 2016. Last year I was kind of 8 years into my journey, and I w- I wasn't I'm not I don't I'm not grieving anymore. I've found a way of living alongside Simon's death and my love for him. And I'm not saying my life is perfect and I don't feel sad, but I have peace in my heart again. And I was really feeling this. I don't know what to call. I don't say it's a disconnect, maybe a misalignment in some way, that everything that I did was around grief, and
Mhm.
I wasn't in that space anymore. And I was starting to feel that I'm actually living, and I want to live. I want to focus on living, and and the grief space was kind of pulling me back a little bit. But I didn't want to walk away from it, because I know what I've created is really needed, really powerful, and really effective. And I think a lot of people in grief sort of create grief support when they're in it, and then they might almost stop when they find their way a little bit. Understandably, I get it. It's not a criticism, but for me, I thought, well, I don't want to walk away from it, but I need to balance this out.
Yes.
That's kind of where you guys then came in, because I thought I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what I was going to do. It was very much a trust the process.
Mhm.
Follow your instincts. Did you know you're feeling this? I'd spoken to you before about doing it previously, and it wasn't the right time for me. And I kind of thought, do you know what? Just go with it. And what you've given to me is that ability to create something. It's like another arm to the support that I offer, that isn't grief focused. It's still for widows, but it's focused on living. And it's, when they've done all my grief work support, and they found their way through that, and then they want to think about, well, who am I? What is my life about, connecting to the essence of who they are, their own inner guidance, their intuition, what's holding them back, what are they afraid of, what sort of beliefs are they holding on to, stories that have been, you know I guess, fed into them over the years. We all have them, don't we, right? None of us are immune. And and then helping these ladies who have, done it. They're not, I wouldn't say they're fixed from their grief, because I don't necessarily think that's a thing, but they're ready to start looking ahead. And what, my intuitive psychology coaching has allowed me to do is really help these women connect to their authentic self and create a life that can feel good for them in this moment where they are now, not what they thought they should have had, could have had, maybe what they really wanted to have, but actually meeting themselves where they're at in their current reality, and putting themselves first and foremost, thinking about themselves as a me and not a we. You know, when you're in a relationship and you've got that companion that, you know, there's a lot about compromise when you're in a relationship. That's right. That's kind of how it works. And it's very hard to adjust to thinking as, well, what do I want? Because you're not used to thinking about what do I want? You're used to thinking about, well, what should we do? And I love it. And honestly, it's not only has it helped me because I've got a different focus that balances it all out. It's helped me personally in my life. It's helped me in my business, and it allows me to continue supporting these women in powerful, beautiful ways. And it's changing lives. It's literally changing people's lives, and that's a gift. That is a
Oh, wow. It is. Oh, you say you could listen to us all day. I could listen to you, Karen. What I want that, and I hopefully the listeners can feel this from you. Oh, so authentic. Like you are absolutely, you speak from your soul, from your heart and soul. And to be able to take something that undoubtedly would have been so painful and create something that actually imagine the hundreds, if not thousands, of people's lives that you're impacting. Because what I hear is hope, right?
yeah,
Because when I haven't lost a partner, but I've lost my mum passed away, and life never felt the same, and it isn't the same,
it's not.
but everything's the same. I had this, this phrase I used to say a lot: same but different.
Yeah,
Everything's the same, but everything is different. But what I got from that was intuitive psychology. I actually don't know if intuitive psychology would be here had my mum not passed away,
wow.
because it created so much space for me. I stopped my own private practice for a long time to be with grief, because
Mm,
of course I didn't want to be with grief, but I knew intuitively that I was not bypassing this. I
yeah,
needed to sit with the absolute pain and dark.
yeah,
That and it does get easier because I don't wake up with feeling like someone's sitting on my chest and I can't breathe. I can now um control my emotions more. I'm definitely much more emotional still than I ever
yes,
was prior to her dying. Um, but I used to not even be able to have any control over my emotions. Like literally, I would be speaking to someone and it would just come. Like
yeah,
I couldn't even get a warning. So, but what I'm getting to is that's because of allowing myself to feel those feelings and sit with that, the intuitive psychology, like all of those things were coming through of create this school and create this training, and Sarah was having similar things, you
amazing.
know, look at what you were doing, look at I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people that you help. Like that is life changing, and it gives people hope, because when you're in the depths of grief, sometimes you're like you do go through periods of thinking, will this ever get any better?
Yeah,
And I think people need that hope, Karen. So when you're
they
just
do.
focusing on grief, it's very dark.
Hmm.
But when you're like, actually, you go through this process and it's important, but there is hope. And here is this amazing toolkit and way to really actually, from your pain, connect to your purpose as a you, not a we. And I think sometimes just that hope is what people need.
Yeah.
So it's so beautiful. And I want to ask you something about your own grief, if you don't mind, just taking you back. Like, you're a mum as well, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Um, how, when you were in those deeper parts of pain and grief, and you talked about like this we, how did you, like, because there wasn't that, you said, it wasn't there for me, so I created it.
Mm.
How did you get through that yourself, and how did you then find your way to say, right, this is what's worked for me, now I need to create something like this for others?
So I think initially, I mean, I'm very lucky in that, you know, where I live, I am surrounded by family and friends, and we were really supported and held. After Simon died, you know, the girls were 9 and 5. They were still at school. The school community was amazing. All of our family and friends were amazing. We were literally picked up and carried for quite a long time. So so that definitely helped. I also, I dated, I drank too much, I ate too much, I tried to spend money and go on nice holidays and do all of those external things that you kind of think, oh, these are going to help, these things are going to fix me. And don't get me wrong, they helped. They helped me get from where I was to where I needed to be, but they weren't long-term strategies that were going to support me. And I remember about 2.5 years after Simon died, I was sat in a cafe with a couple of friends, and I just said, like, I just still, I feel so lost. I feel like I don't know who I am. I don't know what my future holds. I don't know what I want to do. Before Simon had died, I was a midwife, and I was a nurse before that. I'd, spent, all my life working in the NHS as an adult. And I kind of thought, well, what else is out there? And people kind of go, why don't you try volunteering, or why don't you work at a local school, or why don't you go and do this and do that? And I was just like, oh, none of it really doesn't feel
Mm.
right. And I just didn't know what I wanted. And I was so determined to create a life that felt good again, but I didn't know how. And somebody suggested that I get a life coach, and I thought, what's at that time? I'd never even heard of a life coach, and I was like, well, that's got to be some kind of American thing, hasn't it? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I hadn't heard of it. Anyway, I was at that point where I thought, do you know what? Sod it, go for it. What have you got to lose? So I did. I invested in 6 months with a life coach, which was so expensive. And again, you're just not used to spending that kind of money on yourself, on something that's not tangible, because you kind of go, well, what am I getting for my money? What are you going to do for me? And like, I don't understand. And
No, I
I
can't
was
wear this.
yeah, I can't wear it. I can't eat it. Like, what am I supposed to do with this thing? But anyway, I just took a leap of faith, and that 6 months changed my life. Don't get me wrong. Again, I'm not saying that I had everything was perfect and I'd figured it all out. Not at all. But I'd worked on my mindset. I'd worked on my fitness, my health, my relationships. I was becoming more aware, all of that. And that 6 months had taken me to such a different place, and I felt so different. I felt more in control. I felt a little bit more aligned. I'd done my values and all of those things. And I thought, do you know what? I was in groups, peer groups, online groups with widows, and there were widows in there kind of going, oh, I'm 5, 8, 10, 12 years in. My husband died and I'm still as miserable as I am the day he died, and this is awful, and I've never found any happiness. And you kind of go, no, 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 absolutely not. This is not going to become my story. And I thought, these women need to know that there is another way. There is a way through this. And as much as, when you lose someone you love, it is a death of so much, isn't it? As much as it's the death of the person, it's the death of the life that you knew, the person that you knew, who you were with that person. There's that sense of safety. There's the anchor, the person that you could always go to, and you're grieving all of the loss of the person, but all the secondary losses that come with it. And it's a minefield, and it's huge, and it's really hard. And I think, now being where I am, 9 years down the line, I didn't know this then, but I know it now, that grief is horrible. It's heartbreaking. It's the worst thing. It takes you to a very, very dark place. And like you've just said, after your mum died, it takes you to a place that you don't know you're ever going to get out of. You can't see beyond it. And you can't imagine that life is ever going to be okay without that person in your life, because you don't want that to be your reality. And you kind of go, it's never going to be okay. And it never is okay that that person isn't in your life. You don't kind of go, oh, okay, cool, that's fine, no problem. I'll just carry on. It's always going to be sad. What I do believe is, as much as death takes so much from us, and grief can be two things, I think. I think it can be the sadness, the despair, the devastation, and it can be a really powerful place of transformation
Yeah.
and self-discovery and growth. And exactly like you've just said, Jill, you know, had your mum not have died, which is really sad, would you? be doing what you're doing now. You went through something horrific, horrendous. You know, I've still got my mum, and I'm so grateful for, I can't imagine a world where my mum's not in it. Do you know? Because they're a steady in your life,
Oh,
aren't they?
yeah.
They're always there. You know, if you've got that good relationship with your mum, and I'm blessed that I have, and I know you did. But something, grief, there are gifts in grief.
Yeah.
And I really want to help people see that that's okay. It's okay to allow yourself to grow, to
To be
transform,
happy again.
to be happy again, and learn to take that love and that loss forward with you in beautiful, meaningful ways. It's not because you've forgotten, it's not because you don't love them anymore. It's because you've chosen life. Like,
Mhm.
we're still here, right? And we're
That's
not here
it.
for a long time. And
Mhm.
the chances of us actually being here in the first place are pretty slim, right? Isn't it like 400 billion to one or something?
Trillion, I think it is.
Trillion.
Something. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, and I think the narrative around grief, understandably, is actually, I don't know how helpful it is sometimes.
Mhm.
And I love holding space for people in their grief. I do, because I think it's important. We need a safe space to land in, to share our heartache, our
Mhm.
feelings, our to normalize what we're going through. Because, you know, when somebody you love dies, you are suddenly faced with the biggest feelings and emotions you've ever experienced in your life, and you don't know what to do with them. They're scary, aren't they?
It's scary because it's like your nervous system's been
Yeah.
shattered into a million pieces.
Yes.
For some, I'm not saying everyone feels this way. I
No.
can only speak for myself, but that's what it felt like. I felt like a child again.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like very vulnerable and very like a child. That was my mum passing right enough, you know, and I guess for a partner, but but it does. It can throw your whole world upside down. But what I love that you're saying is it's almost this permission slip, like they're not here, but you are.
Yes.
You are, and
Yes.
you can feel you don't want to bypass anything. It's important to recognize that you don't want to numb out and avoid these emotions because we know
No.
this, right? That it will
Yeah.
show up in other ways.
Absolutely.
But you can actually do both. Like you can feel what you need to be felt and give it that time, but then it's also like you can be happy too.
Yes.
You can live
Yeah.
and create and
You
have
can.
joy and pleasure again and love
And
again.
grow and discover things about yourself that you never knew before, and go after life with probably a little bit more gusto than you had before, because you've actually realized how fragile it is and how quickly things can change and be taken from you. Um, and that's what I want to do. And I think I've kind of veered off the path here, really, of how I got to where I got to. but I guess my life coaching led me to that point of, look, if I can do this, I'm just a normal person. I don't have anything different to anyone else. I'm not from royalty. I don't have, you know, things at my disposal that make me different to anyone else. We're all human, right? And and I wanted to, that hope. I wanted to give people hope. And I just decided to work with people locally here in my office in the garden, which used to be Simon's. And I started that, and then COVID hit, and I discovered Zoom. And then I started to get people from further, you know, uh, out there in terms of the UK initially, but then it started to become people in America and Europe and South Africa and even Australia. Um, and it's just kind of grown, and I've just kept building on it and creating this community where people can connect and feel held and safe and have what they're experiencing normalized and validated, you know, where they can come and speak their truth. Because you know what it's like, you speak to people about how you're feeling, and you can feel quite dismissed, can't you? Because people are uncomfortable around grief, around big emotions, and they want to fix you, for starters. They want to kind of go, no, don't cry, it's okay, it'll all be all right, look for the good, and all of this
Ah,
stuff. And it all comes from a great place, right? But
yeah.
I think, look, exactly like you've just said, you can't you can't fix it, you can't go around it, you have got to go through it like that. great book, Going on a Bear Hunt, you know. You
Okay.
have got to go through it. You have got to sit in the discomfort of your grief. And I think get to know it and use it as your guiding light in life.
Yeah.
Because I think we look so much out of ourselves for answers. We're always looking for information, right? We're always looking for somebody else to tell us what to do, for this, for a quick fix, for an easy way through it. Give me a program, give me a book. And whilst I do have the program, I'm not there to give somebody the answers to their grief. I'm there to help them access their way through their grief. And it's by befriending your grief almost and creating that relationship with it, that's where your healing resides, in that. And I think, and then when we understand that grief isn't this monster that is there to destroy us, it's there to teach us, to guide us, to bring us back to ourself, and to help us grow around our loss so that we can create a life that allows us to carry that forward in meaningful ways and live a life that is good again. It's different, but different doesn't mean bad. And this is what, you know, your work has helped me to really enrich what I do. I can go deeper, and I can help people access so much more. It's mind blowing, Jill. Honestly, I come away from like the things that I do with my, you know, techniques and everything that you've taught us, and I blow my own mind. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, this stuff, it's like magic. And these people come and tell you what they've seen, what they felt, what they've realized. Then they go and they take action on it. And you can see it, right? You can see it in their energy, in the way they carry themselves, in their eyes, in their skin. And you're just like, oh my God, you're just a different person. And that is beautiful. And I love it.
Oh, I love this so much. What an amazing thing to share. And when you were talking about befriending grief,
Mm.
straight away I thought about like the techniques within the training, because there's working with the part and also unlayering. And when we can
Yeah.
unlayer and then go to the emotion, it's like you said, grief when someone's passed,
Mm.
that's happened, right? It's grief, it's there, but it's like, I think sometimes there's this label that we need to sit in it for years, and but actually
Yes.
there's another way to, by not avoiding, by going into, almost wrap your arms like
Yes.
around grief and feel it and allow it to
Yes.
move and allow the body to let it move through. And then underneath it, when we can unlayer it, like that essence of love and light, and
Yes.
that and those intuitive sort of, that soul almost connecting with you. And it's
Yes.
it's in, sometimes it's in words, it's in images and symbols. That's when we're not in the head of how we should be, and
Yes.
more of what is essence, what is truth, and what is you're still here. What
Mm.
is your mission? What's your
Yes.
soul's mission now?
Yes.
And when we clear, and it's not about clearing it, dismissing it, it's about befriending it and being with it, and then going underneath the word grief. What is
Yeah.
underneath that? What's inside
Yes.
that? And then
Yeah.
what's inside that, and what's inside that? And when you were
Yeah.
talking there, that's where I was going with it. I'm like, yeah,
Love that.
like unlayering it and
Mm.
being with each emotion, and then getting to almost that, like, what is that root need?
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
It's so
Um,
beautiful. That, because I think it's that root need. It's like it is getting used to asking yourself, what do I need? What's the kind thing? Not what should I be doing, not what's expected of me, what's not everyone else is doing, but what for me right here, right now, underneath all those layers, all those stories, all those parts, you know, that we all carry subconsciously. We're not even aware of them, right?
no,
and
absolutely.
and kind of like just bringing yourself back, regulating. And it takes time, you know, especially when you're grieving. Grief is big, it's messy, it's chaotic, it's heavy, and it can take a while to regulate. But like you say, just connecting with it and allowing it to communicate with you, because it does and it will. And but we're so afraid of it, we're pushing it aside, we're dismissing it, we're distracting ourselves. We live in a very busy world, we're constantly seeking more, and I'm as guilty as the next person of this. I am not immune. um but bringing ourselves back
Mhm.
to ourselves, it lights me up, Jill. Like,
Can
I
see it.
cannot tell you how much you guys have changed my life in so many ways. You know, going through the training, and it was messy, and I'll be honest, there was a point, I think, well, I had a session with you, I was like, I was going, Jill, come to this.
I remember this. That was a beautiful connection we
It
had,
was a
though, wasn't
beautiful
it?
connection, but oh my god, the stuff. And of course, I was trying to work. I'd been over in the US. I'd done a retreat over there. I was trying to keep up with the program. I was going through my own inner journey, and it's a lot, and it is a lot. But you know, it's so worth it. And I'm still actually having some coaching. I see Claire, who's one of your intuitive psychology coaches. Because actually quite a lot came up for me in the program, and I wanted to explore it more, and I wanted to keep going on that journey, because you know, when you're like, what, that's that expression, you've got more levels, more devils,
New
right?
levels, new devils.
Yes.
Or new levels, same devils.
Yeah.
So
um
true, but that's life. I think that's the
yes,
thing. We don't, it's not a one and done. Like
yes,
I still have stuff that comes
exactly.
up. Sarah does,
Yep.
but now we recognize what it is, but it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that we're immune. But no
No.
one is, no matter
No.
what you see or hear on social media. Like life is life, but it's
Yeah.
like that call back to, right, okay,
Yeah.
to have that support, and that is what's beautiful about the community, I think. And I love that
Oh.
you still connect with Claire, and I was actually just chatting to Claire today. I
Oh.
mean, we're so connected with all of the people in that come and train with us. But Karen, you're saying that to us, and you know, it's incredible, but it was always for you. This was
Mm.
always the path, you know. You experienced grief, and you created something from that, and then it was that intuitive nudge that you had, that,
Yeah.
right, okay, I don't want to keep people in here, because how do
Mm.
we move people out of it and
Yeah.
actually, yeah, be with those parts, but get there quicker. And I use that in a really loose way,
Yeah.
right? So what I'm not saying is bypass, but it doesn't need to be as long,
Yeah.
you know. And I think sometimes it's like when we allow ourselves and create safety within our body to
Mm.
feel, the space is created quicker for us
Yes.
to actually start to move through and feel safe,
Yeah.
move through and get out of the head and all of the conditions and programs of how we're taught how we should be
Yes.
and what's acceptable and what's not, versus actually the more that we drop into our essence, well, what feels right for me, and giving people that permission slip to
Mm.
do that. You know, you talked about like when you were in your training, and if, by the way, for anyone listening, most people see this, and we say to people, you know, it will stretch you, it will stretch you,
It does.
but it is a master diploma, right? And if it was easy, then everyone would do it. But it fast tracks you, right? Because
Oh,
what you
yeah.
learn in there, and we say to you guys, remember who you are and what you've trained in,
Mm.
and don't forget that, because I know, you know, I've done courses before, and I know people that will go, you don't, probably when you do this, you don't really need anything else. And I don't mean that that means you don't need to do anything else, but there is enough in there
Yeah.
to actually, you don't probably then need to go and do other courses, right?
No. And you can think you need to, you know, because you see these other shiny things going on. You think, oh, I'll do this and oh, I'll do that. And but actually, what we've got, you know, through our training and the techniques that you teach us is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And yeah, it does take you on a journey inward, and it can be uncomfortable, but that's what it's all about, right? It's also uncomfortable not being aware of it and continuing to live a life that might not actually be serving you that much. And I always say to people, like, there's no easy way. You have to choose your hard, because I do believe that staying in the discomfort of a life that isn't serving you, that isn't lighting you up, that's hard. Like energetically, that's really hard. And facing things that are uncomfortable and bringing things to the surface, yes, that's hard too, but it takes you down a different path. And facing these things and understanding, the things I've learned and understood about myself and I've seen and I've accessed, you just kind of go, wow. Even the stories I've told myself and the things that I've recognized aren't even my things, they're generational things that have been passed down. And you realize a lot of what you're carrying isn't even yours. And you kind of think, I don't want to carry this anymore. And it almost becomes a bit addictive, because you kind of want to feel this freedom. You get this, when you go inward and you start thinking about how do you want to feel, and the visualizations and the energies and what you want. And for me, I always kind of get this sense of wanting to be free and
Mm.
living my life the way I want to live it, but also that inner peace that we're all craving, right? Just liking myself. I don't like, I have been just so horrible to myself for so long. And I think, that one of the biggest things I think that has changed for me is I've actually learned to accept myself for all that I am. I'm not perfect. I don't have all my shit together. I don't have all my ducks in a row. I don't have it all figured out. But do you know what? What I have got and what I have done and who I am, I'm proud of. And I like that version. Yes, there's still room for improvement. Of course there is, and I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep striving. And life is just a constant relearning and re-evolving. But finding an acceptance of who you are for all that you are, and knowing what all that, not all of them, because obviously there's still stuff that I'm not aware of, because I don't know, are we ever really fully aware of absolutely everything? Probably not. I don't think so. But for what I do know and what I have discovered and what I can see, I can accept. And I can also accept that there's parts that I probably can't see, but I know I'm doing my best, and I will continue to do my best, and just holding that space for myself and understanding myself better and creating a kinder internal environment
Mm.
has been a real game changer. That has brought peace.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And when you came in to intuitive psychology doing your training, I know you say that's given you a lot of that awareness, I guess, the self-awareness and the acceptance and the ways to deeply connect to parts of yourself that you maybe weren't aware of. And yet you were achieving quite a lot and doing well in your business before then.
Yeah.
What I really admire about you, and I remember Sarah and I having a chat with you when you were kind of midway through your training, you were like, I'm going to run, I don't know if it was a retreat or something you were running. And
Mm.
you're like, I'm going to use some of these techniques. And I was like, this is incredible, because I think a lot of people hold back and say, well, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to like, maybe I
Yeah.
won't, and a lot of people, a lot of people that come in and train with us do amazing things with it.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes people, when they train, they're like, I'll wait until I know everything
Yeah.
and then I'll maybe do something with it. But what was incredible about you is you did have that belief of, I'm going to run this and I'm going to put these trainings and I'm going to run these inner journeys and these sessions. And am I right in saying you literally sold out your retreat? Like
Mm. Yeah. So
within that, you sold out.
I did. I created a program whilst I was in your program, which you guys really helped me to do, because I wanted to put it. I knew I was going to use it in group scenarios, and I thought, right, I need to just get on and do this. I need to just trust the process, and that it just went crazy. I wanted to do it for about 25 people, and you guys were like, maybe just do it for 12 initially. So I did. And then I did a retreat in July, and both I didn't even really have to sell. I've got to be honest, I just told people I was doing them, and I now have wait lists for this program and this retreat for more spaces than I have space for. Um, because people want it. They want it and they can see that it works, and they watch me. So the people in my community are watching me go on my journey, and they say to me, I can see it, I can feel it, I can hear it in what you're saying, and they're watching me evolve. And they can it's I'm not just saying I can do it. I'm
The
embodying
embodiment
it.
of
I
it.
am. I'm living proof. And I'm not, out there kind of pretending again that I've got it all together. I haven't. But they can see that I'm lighter, I'm brighter, I'm happier. The way I talk, the words that I use, all of that, the knowledge that I have, they can see that, they can feel that, and they want it. And that, I think, is what is so clever about what you guys do, is you don't just teach us. We have to go on that journey ourselves. We have to embody that work. And that is evidence enough for people to kind of go, yeah, I want in. I want in. Where do I sign up?
So, Karen, it's amazing because you literally don't even need to advertise, and you've got
Yeah.
you sell out and then you've got a wait list of people. I mean, that's most people's dream. But I do believe like you are the walking, talking embodiment of everything that you teach,
Mm,
everything that you do, you are the embodiment of it, and it is a felt sense. And
yeah.
I love that you challenged yourself within the training to
Yeah.
say, actually, I'm going to take these techniques and I'm going to run a course on it. And you did it because, and that's brave as well, because those things were new for you too, right?
Yeah.
Although you've done elements of work, you hadn't done that coaching part or
No.
an intuitive psychology
No.
either. That was so new to you, but the belief,
Mm.
was it just belief for you that you thought, no, I know I can do this and people need this? What was that?
What was that? I think I I just wanted to, Jill. Do you know, I trusted. I think I just trusted the process because I kind of mapped it all out. And I wasn't entirely sure how it would go because, like you say, it was all new to me. I hadn't used it in a group setting before, and I was scared. I was taking a leap of faith. But I think I've learnt in life, and since Simon has died, that actually it's in taking those leaps of faith that you grow and you learn and you discover. And I thought, I can keep putting this off. I can wait until I'm ready and then do it. But when are we ever ready?
I
Do you know
know.
what I mean? Like, we keep kind of going, well, I'll just wait for this and I'll wait for that. And I think I've got to a point in life where I just go, do you know what? I'm just going to give it a go. I'm human. And I was honest with the people that signed up to it. I said, this is the first time I've run it. I offered it at a lesser price, and said, look, I was honest. I'm in training. I'm going to do the best that I can. I believe in this and I want to share it with you. And I think each week when you turn up and you do something and you can see that people are getting something from it and it's working, that gives you that belief and that faith in yourself. But I think you have to take the action to allow yourself to develop that belief, because if you just keep sitting and waiting to believe in yourself, you're not gaining the evidence and the proof to do it. So I guess I am a bit of a, well, let's just do it and see how it goes, and if it doesn't go very well, I'll 100% hold my hands up. I'm willing to kind of go, I maybe that wasn't my best idea, but I just didn't believe that that was going to be the case. I had you guys, I had your support. The community's flipping amazing in there. You know how close you get to your peers in this training, and everybody's there to support and help and guide. Um, and I guess I just trusted in what you were teaching us,
Oh,
and I went
thank
for it.
Oh, I feel so emotional listening to you. I'm like, oh, well, and thank you for trusting us, and thank you to the universe for
Mm,
connecting us.
yes.
I know you didn't do it the first time, and you'll have
No.
had your reasons for that.
Time. It was just time. I didn't have the capacity to do it at that time. And when I connected with you last year, I was like, I can make this work
You
now.
can make, and thank
Yeah.
goodness you did.
Oh.
Thank
honestly.
goodness
Yes.
you did.
Yeah.
And it is an investment, right? It's an investment of time, it's an
Yeah.
investment of energy, it's a financial investment,
Yeah. It
right?
is.
Karen, you made your return on your investment in your training.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm lucky in that I have an audience there ready. I have people that I'm already supporting, and I was able to. But I did, yeah, by creating that group program, and inviting them to help me in my first one. I did, and Jill, this is just the beginning, right? Do you know?
Well, yeah, I know it is. I know it is. I mean, I see we chat a lot in our
Yeah,
membership, and
yeah.
oh, you are a very, very inspiring, and so are so many of the people
Oh,
in
so
there.
many.
Like,
Yeah.
we were sitting today, Sarah and I, and we were pulling together, like, just like top of mind what our members have achieved and our master coaches have
Mm,
actually achieved this week
yes.
alone in one
Yeah.
week. And we were sitting like there was like 10, 12, 13 things that we were
Wow.
saying, Nick's done this and so-and-so's done this and so-and-so's, and this was just one week.
Yeah.
And I feel like that with IPA. I feel like however
Mm,
you define success, it is inevitable if you choose to do it. But
yeah.
the tools are there, the support is there, the training is there, the techniques are there. It is there for you if you choose to take it. All of the success that people are achieving, everyone is different, everyone is unique,
Yeah.
everyone is on
Yeah.
their own journey. But the one thing that they all have in common is they came and they trained
Yeah.
in intuitive psychology. There's something quite magical about it, and there's
Definitely.
something magical about the community. And you said yourself, this is just the beginning. I want to talk to you about
Mm.
your future ambitions and your future plans, because I see you like in bright lights, like like TED Talks, and I mean, I'm like, yeah, blown away. I want to ask you about, like, what is your sort of future plans and ambitions?
Oh wow. So I do want to do a TED Talk. I want to get out there more. I want to sort of help people see that grief is more than we currently think it is, and give and be, I guess, that voice of grief in a positive sense, which can feel difficult, and for people, depending on where they are on their journey, that will land in different ways. But I think I can deliver the message in a way that isn't y- jarring. In if you're in those raw early days, the first couple of years, you're lost. Of course, you're not going to be transforming your life and creating amazing things because you're grieving at that point. But normalizing the fact that in time that will come. But I want to write a book. I'm planning a big event in 2027. I want to create Widow Fest. I want a big event for widows from all over the world to come spend the weekend together. I want different talks, different sessions going on. I want fun. I bring fun into it because I think that's a really important part of the healing
Yes.
process. I'd love to create like in-person support around the country, around the world, maybe have widow coaches that kind of work and can hold space for people locally. Um I want to continue on my journey as well. I'm going to go to Bali on an amazing
I
retreat
know.
next year.
She's coming to Bali, so
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I
I
can't
honestly,
wait.
I can't, I not that I want to wish my life away, but I just don't want to go now.
I know. So for anyone listening that doesn't know, Sarah and I are running a retreat in Bali in May 26th.
Oh,
Karen is coming to that. It's going to be
yes.
incredible. I'm
Oh my
actually
God.
away to Ibiza in 2 weeks' time to train in an
Wow.
incredible modality that I'm going to be bringing to the Bali retreat.
Love
I
that.
don't think there's anyone in the UK that does this. So, and it's something I did last year and it blew me away. And so I'm going to spend 4 days with a teacher in
Amazing.
Ibiza before we do Yoga Fit. So I'm doing
Oh,
that first and then I'm going to Yoga Fit. So you guys are going to get to experience it.
honestly, I just
It's
can't
going to be
wait.
amazing. I
It's,
feel
yeah.
Yeah, Widow Fest though.
Widow Fest. Maybe one day I'll do a retreat of my own in Bali. I don't know, but Widow Fest. I do. I want to create some noise in this space, Jill.
What about, I know when you were talking about Widow Fest, then I thought about you doing something like bringing people together, like dating. I don't know, like some
I'm not
sort
sure I
of
want to go down that path. That's
widow dating thing. It could be a hit. It could be a
it
hit.
could hit or miss. Yeah, it could. You never know. I kind of, I have my widowed retreats, and I also have my rise and renew retreat, which is the retreat I use my intuitive psychology techniques in, which is not grief, it's living related. And I think that's going to become a challenge in that I only run it once a year, and it's only for sort of 22 women. And the amount of women that are going through my grief programs, there's hundreds of them. That's not going to be enough. So I'm thinking, well, you guys help me with this. I was chatting to Sarah about it at one of our calls, but maybe having Rise and Renew the event and Rise and Renew the retreat. Do you see what I mean? So something that's maybe not as intimate, but something that still allows me to get to more people and for more people to access this kind of work and maybe bring other people into it as well, you know?
Wow. I
Yeah,
mean, look at your smile.
I
So anyone
know.
watching this on YouTube will be able to see our beautiful smile and your energy. You light
Yeah,
up
I
the
do.
space and
Yeah.
you know, you're saying you've got hundreds of women going through the grief and courses and soon to move into that
Yeah.
rise and renew and
Yeah.
the
Yep.
expansion and everything that comes with that. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And honestly, thank you from the bottom of our heart
Mm.
for trusting us and coming into our space and bringing all of your magic to that as well. And you know, it's very much reciprocated. The
Yeah,
love is mutual, Karen.
I know, and you guys are amazing, and I honestly, I just think for you and Sarah to create what you've created, I can't even begin to imagine what it took you to create this, like blood, sweat, and tears,
Oh yeah,
because it's such a comprehensive program. There's so much, I mean, the knowledge. I almost feel like I want to go through it all again because there's so much in there that uh, it's incredible. It really is. And for you two to take the time to do that and to nurture us through that ripple effect so that we can then go on and help others. And I know there's others in the community touching people in so many beautiful ways. It's really honestly so special, and I'm just so grateful to you because it's transformed my life, and it will go on to transform hundreds of other women's lives as well through me, and you keep repeating this process. And I've met the best people. I've met some of the best people through doing this as well, because you attract a certain kind of person, I think, into your world, and they're just really beautiful souls. So thank
oh,
you for all that you've done, both of you. How you do it, I don't know. You are, and just watching you in New York recently, and just like it's so special. It's so amazing.
well, you guys help us make it so special. You know, you said we attract a certain type of people. We do.
Mm,
Um, it's ambitious people that know that there's
yeah.
more and they want to be the best that they can be from a really ethical, heartless place.
Authentic, like
Uh-huh.
really, like real people. And I don't mean that there's not real people out there, but just people that are authentic and are open to learning and understanding more and being vulnerable, like so much vulnerability. And I think that's just so connecting, isn't it? Vulnerability, and you've created a space where people do come and they crack themselves wide open and share it in such inspiring, beautiful ways, that it helps you in your journey, do you know, finding your way. So yeah, I can't praise it enough.
Oh,
I can't.
Karen, well, thank you so much. And thank you for sharing your story and your journey with us. And I know that so many people will listen to this and feel so inspired. You're magnetic. Your
Oh,
energy is, oh, it's beautiful. And it's no surprise that you are achieving what you're achieving in life and business because of who you're being. Um,
Can you tell my kids that? Because
oh, listen, the kids, they don't get it, man.
they
I,
think I'm
I,
the
I
most
tell you,
annoying person.
my kids think I'm the most annoying person in the world as well. I mean,
And I'm like, hey, I'm
literally,
cool. I'm a cool mum.
I
Like,
know. I'm like, do you know who I am?
exactly.
Do you know me?
They're like, for God's sakes, mum, shut up. You're so annoying.
Oh, I know. I mean, I've actually brought my kids along to things when we were down at Fair and Cotton's Happy Place.
Oh,
They've sat, but so they've kind of grown up with it, and yours will have as well. And I think
yeah.
sometimes they think we're uncool, but it's what they'll learn from us. I think eyes are always watching, little eyes are always watching,
Do you
right?
know? And this is the one thing actually people say to me, these widows, they come into me, they've got children, they always say, what can I do for my children? And I always say, work on you, because kids, they don't do what you say, they do what you do. So model the person that you want them to become, model the values you want them to hold, model the mindset and the outlook and the energy that you want them to have in life, because exactly like you've just said, they are watching. And as much as my kids are always like, oh, for God's sakes, mum, I listen to them, and they say things that I've said, and I'm like, yeah, you think I'm annoying, but you're listening.
Yeah, mine do that too, but they also listen to the naughty things that that they shouldn't be
Yeah.
that they shouldn't be repeating.
Just to balance it out.
Yeah, it's all about balance in the Richie Donegan household. But we're human, right? And I think, going back to your
Exactly.
point about in intuitive psychology, the authenticity, we're human.
Yes. Yes.
We're human,
That. Yeah.
and it's the whole person. It's the
Yeah.
whole person. And I
Exactly.
love that. I love that people get to be normal
Yeah.
and they get to live life on the terms that they want to live it.
Yeah.
Whatever
It's
those
not a competition, it's not a race. It's just supporting people wherever they are, in to helping them to get wherever they want to get. And it's that, it is. It's that real raw humanness, messiness that is just there, but also, understanding that we're all going after what we want to go after,
And
and
you
helping
can.
people to do that. And you
Success,
can. Yeah.
absolutely. And it can be a
Yeah.
this and, yeah, it can be messy and very
Yes.
successful. And
Yes.
I can ask for more and I can
Yes.
achieve more and I can sell out my retreats and I can have a wait list. And yeah, I can
Yeah.
actually have a Widow Fest and I can do a
Yeah.
TED Talk and all of these things. You
Yeah.
get to do that. And
Yes.
that's like celebrated. And I love that.
Yeah.
Um, oh, just an amazing conversation.
Oh.
Before you go, what would you say to someone that was listening and thinking, I actually would love to train, but I'm not sure, if it's the right thing for me.
Oh my God, I'd jump in with both feet. Do you know, like, just take a leap of faith, trust the process, because this is honestly so insanely powerful, life-changing. You will come out a different person than you went in. And whatever you think you're going to get from it, you're going to get 10 times more. And I know it's not tangible. I know you can't see it on a plate. I'm not saying you'll come out the other side and you'll magically have everything sorted, but what it will give you will be priceless, I think. And there's so much support. There's tools, tips, techniques galore in there. And you and Sarah are always, the biggest cheerleaders, the biggest supporters in terms of helping people. And it is scary. Do you know, like, taking a leap of faith is scary, but what if you don't take it? What you're going to gain by not doing the thing? And I don't mean that in a trite way. I know it's a financial commitment, a time commitment, an energy commitment. I get that. But what I will say is it's worth it. It might not necessarily be easy, but is anything worth having that easy?
Mm. Beautiful. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. It's no wonder you've got your own podcast. I mean, on to that, just before we completely wrap up, how can people connect with you? Now, obviously, if they want intuitive psychology coaching, you're featured on our website. Okay, so you are one of our coaches that we recommend. So if you're ever on Intuitive Psychology website looking for a coach, you will find Karen there. But other ways that people can connect with you, Karen, tell us about that.
So there's my website, which is just karensutton.co.uk. I'm on social media, Karen Sutton Widow Coach, Instagram, Facebook's the best place. And then what else was like? There was somewhere else I was going to. Oh, the podcast, the Widow Podcast. If you are wanting to listen to something along those lines as well. So yeah, come say hello.
I love that. And have you got any events or retreats? I was going to say, you're like,
Yes.
I've no space, Jill. Don't promote my services. I've no space. But if someone wanted to get on your wait list, Karen, what have
Yes, I
you got
have.
coming up?
So I've got my annual Christmas gathering coming up in here in Cheltenham on the 29th of November. I think we've got about 10 spots left for that. And then I've got my wait list for my grief retreats in May and September next year. So if you go to my website, you'll see retreats. Go there, you'll be able to click on the wait list, and the same for my Rise and Renew retreat, which will be in July next year as well.
But there's a wait list.
There's a wait list, yeah. And
Okay, and
we'll be announcing spaces soon, but unless you're on the wait list, you won't, yeah, because I it always goes from the wait list. First come, first
absolutely.
served.
Absolutely. And what if someone was like, I want to work with her one-to-one? Is that something that you're offering right now?
So it's something I'm going to be offering in January. Yes, I am. I haven't been, and I don't ordinarily, but I have decided to take on two people in January, to support them one to one, to take them on a intimate personal journey. Everything I do is groups. Everything I do is groups. But I thought, yeah, I'm going to
So
offer
in a
two people.
rare, this is a rare
Mm,
um
yeah,
offer
yeah, yes.
for only two people. So that
Only two
just
people.
shows
Yeah,
you. So
yeah,
hopefully the
yeah,
right two people, what an amazing experience they're going to have getting
yes,
to work with you one to one, especially when you just only ever do the
yeah,
group work now. So amazing,
yeah.
Karen. Karen, thank you from the bottom of my heart. We are so blessed to have
Oh,
you in our community, to have you out in the world as a master intuitive psychology coach doing this work. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
it's been a pleasure. Thank you.